I'm going to just explain my strategy a little bit further than I have done this morning, and explain the reasons why I think people should be utilizing something like this. Let me just see if I've done this correctly. Yeah, okay. So you can see from the 4 to the 10, fine. Okay, so basically the strategy involves um, it's called P.A.R.T, P-A-R-T. And what you do is you wait until a point is established. You set something like 160 across on a $10 table. The reason for that is going to be self-explanatory after that. It's a two-part strategy. First of all, you you push a lot of bets out for two score hits, and then you regress down to table minimum, and after that you press. So the reason why we do this, and the reason why we do it for two hits as opposed to anything else, is going to become self-explanatory in a minute. So basically we establish a point, let's say for whatever reason it's a 4, and then we hit the 5 and the 6. This guy at the back is going to stay up, as I see many people staying up, and the guy at the front is going to regress. Okay, so the first hit was a 5, he gets paid 35, and he gets paid for the 6, he gets paid 35 as well. That's 70. Same happens at the back. This guy is going to regress. I will keep this money separately so that it makes sense. He has regressed his 160 across, and now he's going to replace it by 44 inside. Alright, so now we have both people on an equal footing, basically. Let's just bring regression guy here, and the other one who won the 70, he's going to stay up with 35 across. Let's say that for the sake of argument, he hit his point. Okay, so if he bought the 4, it's gonna give him that, let's say 50, because he bought it. Okay, but what if he doesn't hit the point? What happens then? He has lost 160 across for 70. So that means that he's under by 90. Let's assume that he actually did hit the 4. He has another 50. This guy doesn't get anything. Then let's assume that he hits the 5. So we get paid 14. And he gets paid 35. One, two, three, four. That's 100, 125, 150, 155. What if the next number is a 7? He's still losing $5 overall. So he's making a loss, even though he has performed very well. He's at 4 hits. This guy's at 2 hits. Sorry, 4 hits as well, but 3 hits. Sorry, but he has recovered his 110 inside. He has, sorry, his 160 across. He has 70, 80, 84, and 44 inside. 84 minus 44 is 40 profit. So he's still ahead. So in order for the guy in order for the guy who has not regressed to be ahead of him, he needs to either hit a forward 10 or go for an extra hit at 35, and then let's say most probably he's at 35, so that's 100, 150. That's the profit that he's making right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 30 bucks on top. What if the next number is a 7? Well, he's gonna lose everything, and this is the profit that he's made. 30 bucks versus the 40 that this guy who regressed with 2 hits has earned. So this is what I'm trying to get at. Between hit number 2 and hit number 5, the person who is stubborn and is going to stay up and not regress will suffer more losses in profits as opposed to somebody who regressed to table minimum and he's already playing from a profit position, from the position of playing with casino money. So this is a very simple explanation of why I do just 2 hits. There's a reason for it. It's not my reason. I actually saw it on Color Up in one of the videos he did. I think he did that twice. It's called Are You a Loser? I'm not taking credit for it, but I see a lot of merit and a lot of, it makes a lot of sense to me to actually follow this. Color Up actually says maybe not 2, you can stay up for 3 hits and all that, but okay. We're being a bit conservative, and I believe that you should be a bit conservative. You can even make it at 1 hit. That's where the big money on the table comes for the first hit and down. So if you want to increase the first hit's impact on your profit, then probably you will not be at 160 across, but you probably be at 320 across. 1 hit is enough to yield $70, so you can go down to 44 inside. It will still give you a healthy $26 of profit. Now $26 on an outlay of, let's say, I don't know, 320 is 8%. It's not bad. You can only get 5% at the bank. So, this is the first part of the equation. The second part of the equation is why do we go to table minimum? The table minimum part is to create that profit margin that we want to secure, and your initial 2 bets. All right, the second part of the strategy, or the third part of the strategy, would be that what we will do is to go up by units, single units. So basically, you're already in profit. If the 5 hits, you will collect 14, as we said. 5 of that will go up there. You will only collect $9. You will not reinvest it in any other number that has not earned the right to be pressed. I believe very much in picking the numbers that have been hit to be pressed, as opposed to doing system numbers or doing everything, just going across for no reason. There is no evidence to suggest to you that the 6 or the 8 is going to be hit. Perhaps the shooter is aiming for the outside numbers, and your best advice to stick to the numbers that he's hitting already, as opposed to the numbers that he hasn't hit. So what if the next one is an 8 or a 9 and I've missed out on the opportunity? Well, you haven't really. What you're doing is that you're going to be collecting money, most of the money, and just pressing part of it. And that's being conservative. That's actually doing 2 things at the same time. Is not just going full press, just power pressing everything and hoping that shooter is the shooter that's going to do a 40 or a 50-minute draw, because those shooters are far and few between. And trust me, I've been trying this all my life. There is no set and there is no sure thing. Sometimes you can roll 40 times, another time you can roll 5 times and 10 times. What you should be hoping for is to be able to roll at least 10 times. That should be fantastic. It should be a respectable roll. And if you can do it consistently, that's even better. With this strategy, you don't need a long roll. You need a few good rolls, being profit, regress, opposed to exposing your money to risk. Something more I wanted to say is the fact that I like to, rather than go for the 160 across, I like to go a bit more extreme, because that's actually 4 times the 160. So it's 600, 700 across. Yeah, it's something roughly about that. 700 across. Let me just put one more on that. And the reason for that is sometimes if I feel that the shooter is not performing, I might just accept one hit and then take it all down to table minimum or something that makes sense to me. A roll by another shooter is something live. It changes. It's dynamic, and I tend to focus on how the numbers are rolling. I like to interpret some results. If I'm looking at what the so, yeah, that's my opinion anyway. Let's not go just too far into it. There's always risk involved in any kind of outlays that you have out there. Um, Please be careful. I don't want you to take this as a strategy that is the best or whatever. It's just an alternative for somebody who is on the light side and wants to uh, create a differential basically, so that he can spend the rest of his role or somebody else's role from a secure position playing with casino money. There are always cases where the shooter will be shooting for the outside numbers, the fours, the yos. Very rare occasions, but there are those people that are so good or so bad that they cannot hit one inside number. It doesn't matter if you're going across, by the way, because they're bound to hit a 4 or a 10. So yeah, this is George from Cyprus. Very short video. I hope it makes sense to you. Drop me a line if you want me to explain it any further. It's been working for me, and it hasn't been working for me. There are times that you see a lot of PSOs, 0.7 outs, so that's gonna hurt. And in my case, it hurts quite a bit. So be careful who you bet on. Trust your own rolls, and I hope that if you use this, it makes you some money. This is George from Cyprus. Kalispera. Have a brilliant day ahead. Signing out. Dice out.